Look, I'm gonna be brief about this. We all know about Batman, we know his origin story, we know his rogues gallery, and we also know that so many of his games were not very good. I personally grew up with Batman Forever on the Sega Genesis, and even when I finally figured out how to get past level 1, damn it! Level 3 was timed and about as linear as a desert. I don't have much nostalgia for it these days. But a certain dev team in Rocksteady approached WB to make a Batman game of their own. And I'm sure it was seen as a good idea, because before Arkham Asylum, they all had but only one game to their name, being... shit, what was it? And it's a game where you play as a riot squad trying to beat up a gang for fighting against the system. I'm beginning to understand the 2020 allegations against the dev team now. Well, let's try not to judge the game for that because, well, this is one of the greatest games of all time. Just to get this out of the way, the game involves Batman having to stop a takeover of Arkham Asylum started by the Joker and his goons. What? What are you looking at me like that for? That's what they're called. It's not my fault the internet ruined the term. With it slowly being revealed the Joker came back to regain a formula he tricked one Dr. Young into making and used it to create an army of monsters, which does not feel very Joker-like at all, but I'll go over that a bit more when the time is right. I'll go into more detail for the story later if I may. For now, the gameplay. The combat for this game was and is revolutionary. It's simple enough that one can understand it rather easily, but there will be some bouts that you gotta keep better track of. The X/square button is used to strike, the Y/triangle button is used for countering when the prompt comes up, and eventually some enemies use blades that can block your attacks unless you use the B/circle button to stun them. And when they start using a stun baton, you jump over them with the A/X button to strike them from behind. Think of it as a sort of rock, paper, scissors thing. By the way, you know something weird? The PC version of this game boots up with a Square Enix logo. But there's nothing on Arkham Asylum's Wikipedia article about their involvement, but the page for Square Enix games has it listed right under Balan Wonderworld. What are you hiding, squirks? I'm running out of ways to mess up that logo, and this is only the third time I've done it. There are also Predator encounters where you gotta avoid being seen and take people down silently due to the fact that they have guns, and even Batman isn't bulletproof. Just ask his parents. Successfully winning both kinds of these encounters nets you experience, and after a certain amount, you get to upgrade your health, gadgets, combat capabilities, and even get entirely new gadgets, such as a sonic battering, which is used to lure enemies to it for an easy takedown, and the ability to hold more than one battering at a time. Why does this need to be an upgrade? And of course, it wouldn't be a game taking place in the Arkhamverse without challenges from the Riddler, ranging from the infamous Riddler trophies to riddles to scan to interview tapes that give some backstory for a select few villains, to secret maps that are required for completion, so even if you don't need them, you need them, and teeth. Teeth, 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 teeth. Hey, wait, I hear it, but I can't seem to find it. Oh, there it is. It got stuck. Teeth. These Riddler challenges not only net you some more experience for upgrades, but some unlock challenges to do outside of the story mode, character models to enjoy viewing, bios of characters in the Batman lore, etc. I personally love the bios because some of them tease characters to make future appearances, but a lot of them sadly never did, or at the very least are referenced in future games through further backstory stuff. Two of these guys that intrigued me the most, and had me wishing they'd show up in the future games, are Great White Shark and Prometheus. Shark is an inmate that tried to get off easy with an insanity plea, only to be driven insane by his stay in Arkham Asylum, how ironic. Was locked in Mr. Freeze's cell, leaving his skin snow white and his ears, hair, nose, and even some fingers gone, and he ends up sharpening his teeth to further adopt the moniker of Great White Shark. Then we got Prometheus, who, if Thomas Elliot, aka Hush, is a dark reflection of Bruce Wayne, Prometheus is a dark reflection of his alter ego, Batman. His parents were criminals gunned down by cops, to which he declares vengeance on all cops for what happened to his parents. He uses money his parents stole to travel the world and hone his skills as a fighter. I would go into more detail, but his Wikipedia article goes into a lot more than Sharks did, and I'm beginning to see why he never showed up in the Arkhamverse. Oh, by the way, there's one Predator section where they booby-trap the gargoyle perches, forcing you to have to rely on other means to take out the goons. Me? I stand on a roof and pull them off a ledge with a back claw. Also, if I can find the clip I saved from years ago when I played the Xbox One remaster, I will gladly share it because I had a perfect run of yanking goons off a railing, and mind you, it's roughly 3 minutes long, but I'll make sure to edit it properly so it doesn't take up too much time. Also, we'll talk about the remaster in a moment. Please sit the fuck down. Yeah, I couldn't find a more appropriate place to put this in, but just to mention, Rocksteady even managed to get the voice actors from Batman the Animated Series to voice people in the game. From the late great Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill aka the Zionist Man as the Joker, and the late great Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn in one of her final acting roles before retiring and being replaced with Tara Strong aka the Super Zionist. Why are two of these people Zionists? We at CSDX Incorporated need to stress that we are in no way anti-Semitic in any way, shape, or form, as Zionism is pretty much nationalism akin to how the racists here in America show their hatred towards non-white people. I mean, guys, it shouldn't be that hard to say genocide is bad, because genocide is bad. So, thank you very much for understanding, and free Palestine, bitch. There are also a few moments that especially stick out to me about just how dark things can and usually do get in Batman lore. And up until I played Arkham City, I didn't fully understand that. Yes, I played City first, but truth be told, I feel Asylum is even darker. There are dead bodies laid out all over the place. There's a phone call from a woman asking for their partner, who Joker reveals to be headless. Oh my god, the poor woman. The poor guy too, but also the poor woman. Then we have this.
I'll look after Maria. I promise.
This is especially upsetting. Is Maria his daughter? His wife? His pet? It's never explained, as I think this is meant to be a small moment adding to the damage Joker has caused, but from my perspective, it is made as impactful as losing a main character based on the fact that not only did they have a loved one that needs protecting, but the guy delivered his line very well here. By the way, just to mention, he can either say that or I'm so sorry. I have no idea why it's different and I guess randomized like that, but it is an interesting touch if I may say. I should also note the other Riddler challenge that I neglected to mention. The Chronicles of Arkham. All across Arkham Island are these slabs on walls with a specific symbol to scan and are akin to the interview tapes, but are part of a much bigger mystery to solve, as the Chronicles claim to have been left by the spirit of Amadeus Arkham, the man that started the asylum that was named after him, as it details what eventually led to his descent into madness as he attempted to cure the man that killed his family, only for the man, named Martin Mad Dog Hawkins, to relapse and kill Amadeus' secretary, which further pushes him to insanity after months of taunting from Mad Dog when trying to cure him. However, they keep going. The Chronicles just keep going even after that happens, and he even describes villains that are not from Amadeus' time, but from the current era, such as Killer Croc and the Joker, leading the player to wonder, how is this possible? Prompting them to find more Chronicles and solve the mystery. By the way, this game has jiggle physics for some reason. Yeah, I'm amazed this is a thing, and I'm more amazed that I bothered checking to be sure, but virtually every cutscene with Harley Quinn in it has her boobs jiggle a bit. This is a game about beating people up dressed as a bat. Why the hell did they put jiggle physics in? Oh right, the allegations. It's so weird and out of place too. Like, the objectification of women in these games is already bad enough, but at least in the case of Catwoman, she's a femme fatale who uses her wiles to lure men into a false sense of security, and with Poison Ivy, her entire thing is seducing men and manipulating their emotions before slowly killing them. And the funny thing about those two, neither of them have jiggle physics. Only Harley, who, by the way, going by her interview tapes, is written to have been converted by Joker in one single day, has boob shakes. Justice for Harley, she deserves better than this. And is better than this even. Although, one good thing from the interview tapes, this is my favorite exchange in the entire game.
He's crazy, you know. Who? Batman? No, Santa Claus. Of course, Batman. Always Batman.
That is freaking iconic. I forgot to write about the gadgets when I mentioned them in relation to the upgrades. I will now talk about the gadgets I forgot to write about when I mentioned. As the game goes on and you explore more of Arkham Asylum on Arkham Island, you end up both unlocking gadgets via upgrades, like with the aforementioned multi-batarang and sonic batarang, along with the remote control batarang, and by just progressing the story like with the line launcher and the ever-iconic explosive gel. It's iconic because every time Batman uses it, he draws a bat symbol with it, which is kinda cute, but according to randos on the internet, it's also egotistical. I never really thought about it much, so whatever. You know, I wonder what would happen if I put 3 of those on this wall in particular. How the fuck did I get that first try? No, really, I know I said that as a bit, but when recording I actually did get it first try when I usually fail multiple times in previous playthroughs. As for what's behind the wall, hang on, I'm almost done with the gadgets talk. You also get to upgrade some gadgets such as turning the Sonic Batarang into the Sonic Shock Batarang, which allows you to take out an enemy you lure it with, but it ends up being unusable for the rest of the Predator encounter. I think I failed to use it in this playthrough, unfortunately. I am just that damn good. Then there's the Bat Claw that gets upgraded to the Ultra Bat Claw, allowing you to pull vents with more ease, and even pull down explosive gel walls with no ease at all. I love this thing. I can't wait till the next game where I get to use it again. Lastly, there's the Cryptographic Sequencer, which allows you to bypass security by blowing them up. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know what I can say here that'll... I got nothing. Now about that hidden room in the wall. It turns out the Warden has a secret office that happens to tease the next game with blueprints mapping out in, quote, Arkham City. Interestingly enough, this took so long for people to discover that Rocksteady devs felt the need to announce its existence. Mind you, it was only 6 months after release, according to this article here via a podcast that Game Informer linked, that doesn't seem to be up anymore. I clicked the link and it would seem to be going to a Facebook page, but now it just goes to the Facebook home page, so that sucks. But the article is dated August 9th, 2010, a full year after the game came out, with videos showing it off dated as early as August 10th, 2010, and this video linked to YouTube account Achievement Hunter is the first result when I looked it up on Google. And just above it, the AI overview got it wrong yet again. Look, can we please stop using generative AI for shit that didn't need fixing if fixing meant breaking and stick to using AI to detect cancer cells years before they develop? I would also like to note that I did try recording the remaster Return to Arkham Asylum, but the keyword here is being try. Look, visually it's amazing, especially with the rain effect, but it is still so super buggy and glitchy to no end, to the point that when Dr. Gunn is killed off, she has the face that was memed heavily back when the Ezio trilogy of Assassin's Creed was remastered, and yes, that's because this remaster was done by the same developers in Virtuos, whom I vehemently dislike because of how botched the remaster is. You wanna know how botched the remaster truly is? Well, let's put it like this. When the Xbox One X came out a year after the PlayStation 4 Pro, games that were enhanced for Pro were soon enhanced for One X if they were on One X to begin with. And that included Return to Arkham. Some games got a slight visual upgrade and they usually also got an update to be able to output to 4K. But the game can't even do that right as the text is cut off on the TV. How the hell do you screw that up and never fix it for almost a fucking decade? In addition, some games were able to get a boost in FPS, and Return to Arkham Asylum was sort of an exception? See, as you can tell from the footage shown here, the frame rate looks somewhat fluid, but not completely. That's because the 1X enhancement allows the game to run at 45 frames per second. Not 60, not even 50, but 45. And for the life of me, I do not understand this, especially since not only did Return to Arkham City not get any sort of FPS boost, but what's even weirder is that the PS4 Pro enhancements for Return to Arkham Asylum did not bump the frame rate up at all. Now, why did I even bother to record the remaster despite all this? To show you that the remaster runs at 45 FPS for some weird reason. Also, for some weird reason, I forgot to mention detective mode earlier when talking about the Predator encounters. You know, I'm not doing a very good job making sure this video about a game I love is as perfect as possible like I did with Pokemon Horizon, Pokemon X and Y, huh? Detective mode is a visual, let's say, option that allows Batman to see goons regardless of where he is in a room, whether they're armed or unarmed. This also allows him to more easily see certain collectibles, including Riddler trophies and interview tapes, among other things. And also only in this game, like with the Ultra Bad Claw, when scanning for evidence to find a trail in certain parts of the game, the detective mode changes colors to track said specific trail, such as with alcohol vapor and fingerprints. It is such a cool feature that just, for one reason or another, unfortunately didn't come back at all. I'll be sad about it later though. Until then, Scarecrow jump scare! Yep, Scarecrow is in this game in a few encounters, causing Batman to hallucinate in a number of ways, from seeing his parents Guys, I think the game broke. Wait, hang on, I remember encountering this problem before. Wait, hang on. I just realized, I have encountered this problem before. Like, I've played the PC version multiple times, and I am realizing that I've encountered this exact situation before. You're telling me they never fixed it? You know, maybe I should play a different version for the video on Arkham City. You know, maybe I should stick with the Steam version of Arkham City and shut the fuck up. As I was saying, Scarecrow causes Batman to hallucinate in a number of ways. From seeing his parents in a morgue, to reliving the night Joe Chill killed his parents, which also reveals how Bruce came to know Commissioner Jim Gordon, to this.
Did anyone catch the game last night?
Oh my god, it's happening. It's not an actual crash this time. What the fuck? This isn't an actual crash, by the way. Okay, everybody shut up. I need to talk about this. In the third instance of Scarecrow's bullshit, Batman hallucinates being brought into the asylum by Joker, the same way Joker was brought in by Batman at the beginning of the game, and it leads to a great troll move by the devs. Now we all know about the bit where you have to use the middle stick to dodge Joker's fire. This one to be exact. But I never see anyone talk about it in regards to the PC version and what that has. So, when you're using a keyboard and mouse for this game, what does the PC version show?
You have to listen to me! It's a mistake! I didn't do it! Cut me free!
He's all yours, Joker.
Oh, goody! Come on, Mr. J, we're ready!
I've waited a long time for this, Bats. Let's start the party with a bang.
Tilt the mouse! I discovered this on accident years ago when I was stuck trying to use an emulation program to turn my crappy-ass Logitech controller with numbered buttons into a 360 controller, and I'm assuming it still showed this cause, well, emulation isn't perfect. You know what the especially wild thing about this is? I unfortunately can't get footage of this anymore, especially since I no longer have said controller, but I tried that controller with WWE2K15, and it not only detected the Logitech controller fine, but it showed the button icons that match the controller itself rather than the Xbox button style. A WWE 2K game did that. That's amazing. By the way, the Scarecrow battles, yeah, those and the Poison Ivy boss fight are really the only real boss fights in the game. Virtually everything else is fighting goons and a big hulking monstrosity resulting from the formula. Alright, I've drawn this out long enough. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the lore! On second thought, I'm very tired. Okay, just a quick over about this. This video has been in the works for many months, and I am burnt out on it. There are some jokes I do want to still include in the video when going over the lore for the most part and the outro and whatnot, but I am burnt out from this because, like, here's the thing. Most of the footage that you saw recorded was over the course from December to April, and that includes not just the gameplay, but the webcam and audio stuff. However, some stuff I had to record and add in when I realized I forgot to talk about it and felt it was very crucial to talk about, being the detective mode and the gadgets, and something else with the gadgets, I already forgot what. Not a great memory, I'm not gonna lie. Like, trust me when I say that there's quite a bit I wanted to go over in regards to the lore, but I'm very burnt out from working on this video and edit. I think part of why I only edited it every few days and it took so long was because I was also burnt out from CSDX gameplay, and that carried over to here. So, yeah, I want to do something else, but I want to make sure this video gets out. So, I'll say this much at least. To make up for the fact that there's no discussion of the story in this video, I will quickly try to summarize it as best as I can in the upcoming Arkham City video of the Batman Arkham Retrospective. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Also, if you hear kids screaming out there, it's out of my control. I'm sorry, I cannot control the volume at which youngins yell. That was a terrible way to end the video, but like, I will say, at the time of this recording here, it's Pride Month. We are all family. Happy Pride Month. And, I will say the next video will not be on Arkham City, as in, like, it's not the next part of the Batman Arkham Retrospective. Well, it is, but, like, the next video is not the next part of the Batman Arkham Retrospective, but I want it to be something else to try and, like, refresh myself. Like, try to, like, be able to recharge my batteries in a way. But I will say this much about Arkham Asylum. It's clearly a great game. The combat was just revolutionary. The visuals are alright for the most part. In fact, I think that's one thing I think I already said this, but I think that's one thing Return to Arkham has over Arkham Asylum. The visuals are admittedly a very good upgrade, for the most part, mind you. The audio is actually really well done, too. In fact, I will be honest, I mentioned this in the script, but I actually managed to get 195 of the 240 Riddler challenges done, which really shows how many times I've played these games and how much I actually love them. I don't know what that's going to entail for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which I'll try to make that the final video in this retrospective, but we'll see. And, well, might as well do this as an outro. Take care, be safe, Black Lives Matter, love is love, free Palestine, fuck the GOP, and all other politicians enabling the madmen in the White House. And please remember to stay awesome. I forgot how to do it, it's been a long while. Anyway, see you next time.